Well, it's another glorious day in Maine here again. Um, just playing around with the shop. Was playing with wheelers and stuff. So, the UPS showed up, which is the package right here. Bingo. I got steering components. I haven't opened everything up completely, but as you can tell, white crap, green, beautiful stuff. Now I got a washer on the way too. So, this is what I got. So, I'm gonna open the packages, lay it all out, we'll see what we got. So, this is what I got. I got the shaft, which is right there. Don't mind my bench, it's a mess. Got the Heims joint and 3 knuckles. I don't think I'll need the three knuckles, but I got them just in case. The only other problem I'll have is going from that steering shaft. It's I don't know, D rod or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, shape 20 like that to round, but we'll figure it out. I don't know what was going on with the shipping, but Pony Express was a little slow today, slow this week or something. Nah, I'm just kidding. Freaking, those guys do what they gotta do to keep things going. Especially in this crappy weather and everything. I got a lot of respect for them. They ain't got the easiest job. Not very many people think of that. Everybody just, where's my stuff, you know? But, nope, they got a hard job, so. Especially on crappy days like today. Alright, so now I just gotta figure out what's going on. So this is my other piece of the steering shaft. And what I did, this is gonna be kind of hard to show you, but so in there is a D like that. D or oblong, whatever you want to call it. So this shaft's the same diameter as this, 3/4. But the only thing is I gotta make flat spots on each side. So what I'll probably end up doing is grinding out. There's a lot of meat to that. I mean, that's over 1/4, I'd say. So that's not gonna be a problem. Just taking the time to grind that, which I might end up just dropping the box right out and doing it up here on the bench, at least to get that one joint on. I think that's the better bet. I do believe. That way I can see what I'm doing and then make sure it's equal on each side. But yeah, that's what I'll have to do. It's good to see the parts here. So now I got the steering box all out of it, and I ground the end of the shaft, which that was plenty thick, to that to put the other shaft in, because this is going with the, I don't know, common steering D. I don't know what the heck it's called, but steering rod anyway. So I ground that down so that way now it just slides on there. So now I just gotta tighten it up, add my other rod, bolt the steering rod box back in. It may work, may not. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the way it is, I think it's gonna be actually all right, because it's plenty rugged enough. There's plenty of meat to the shaft and everything, so don't see why it won't work. So Yeah, I'll have to mount that all back up again. So I'll be back on another one. Well, it's the next day. Deciding to play around with this some more. I'm not sure if I really want to cut the shaft right there or not, but I don't know. That's where I marked it. I might go a little shorter. I just put this on here. I'm not putting that on right yet. But just a lot of mocking up and trying to make things fit. So now I'm going to use the chop saw that I got to cut a straight cut on this. It's the best option. It's better than a grinder. At least it won't be crooked. So I got to cut that out with that. So now I cut it. Now I got to bevel this edge, which I'll probably use a bench grinder for that. Just, oh, I'll unplug myself. How neat is that? Come on, there we go. There we go. No more fighting. All right. There we go. Sorry about the camera. Bevel the edge a little bit, makes it slide in better. And so now I can walk this up. So there's that right now. So now I'm gonna have to get another, who's opening it? Swivel. U-joint, steering joint, whatever you want to call it. Oh my God, this is a pain. Come on. All right, I'm going to open this, and then I'm going to line this all up, and then I'll take a video of it. Well, now I had to cut that shaft back, which I thought I was going to have to anyway, which it was over here. Now it's back here because the angle of where that was at, there was just too much of a kink. So now I gotta figure out how to mount this somewhere in here, so that way I can, which I actually may drill a hole in the frame and then weld that nut. I'm not sure exactly. I could do it on top, I guess, but I just want to make sure my clearances and everything are going to be good. But I don't know. That's the whole part of this. Do a little bit, and then a lot of figuring. So nothing's easy per se, but we'll figure it out. Is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring this up. I'm gonna weld a plate of steel. You slimy son of a gun. Like that. So I fired my plasma cutter up, and I made a hole in that. So all I need to do now is cut this off, which I'm going to use that to cut the, probably not the plasma cutter. I don't know, the plasma cutter works all right, but it's quicker with that. So I'm going to zap it with that, and we'll see what happens. Well, now I got my shaft pretty much configured where I want it. It turns. The only thing is I gotta mount the rest of it up top here on the back side, so that way it will move smoothly. But I gotta drill every one of these. You can see where it's been hitting on that one right there. So I gotta drill every one of those things for a spot to set in. So that way those things will set in, that way I ain't gotta worry about them. And I want to say with them setting in would be better anyway, so. Yeah, so that's the next step. Drilling every one of those out. That's gonna take a while. So each one's got 2 and got 1, 2, 3, 4 joints, so 8 holes. So that's gonna take some time. But yeah, I think it's gonna work right where it is. Oh, my clamp fell down, but I mean, steel's real good. So, like I said, if we can just get those things drilled up and the hole's gonna set in, and we'll be good. So just to be clear on drilling that rod out for the set screws to set in. That's what I'm meaning by drilling it out. I drilled it out so that way the set screws will sit right in the shaft, right down in. So, just so that way I didn't make some confusion there about drilling it out. So, this is what I've come up with. I mean, I got a little more work to do still, but it's hitched up and it steers. So that's a good thing. It's hard to see it in the picture, but the video, but the steering wheel is not permanently on there. But just to give an idea of what it's gonna look like. So I may even drop that steering column down a little bit. I don't know, it's gonna be kind of one of them things. They're gonna have to put the floors in, put the seats in, kind of see where it is. But at least I got steering now, somewhat. I still gotta hitch that up, but the pitman arm, but yeah, good start to it anyway. Well, tonight's dinner night with the wife, so I better make her happy. So see you on probably tomorrow morning. Well, it's the next day. Just got out of the backhoe, freaking plowing another foot of snow. Gotta love Maine. Driveway's all a mess again. Grandkids having fun. So, back to it. So I don't know if I showed you what I did last, but yeah, the freaking glare's really getting to it. But that's the steering knuckle, the steering shaft coming down through, which I know I've shown you that. But I got my steering wheel in place. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece here in the center of that steering wheel, cut that out because I need that for the very end of the steering wheel, where that as a keyway right in here. There we go. So I need that, and then somehow put that on and then figure out how to connect my steering wheel. I haven't quite figured that one out yet, but we'll get to it. I like to make it so it just pops off, anti-theft device, you know? But wow, this freaking got wicked glare. So yeah, that's that. Just to give you a heads up. So this is what I've done so far, is I took the center hub out of that steering wheel, which goes to that shaft, for the steering shaft. I drilled both sides out. Put one bolt in it for now. I don't know, I might put another bolt in it. Probably ain't gonna take much for it to steer anyway. So that kind of concludes that. So now I've been playing around with what I want to do with that. I'm not sure if I want to weld that there and then bolt my column to that, because I got to drop it like 2 inches, which that would give me my clearance, and put the steering wheel at a good position anyway. So I think that's what I'm going to try. I'm going to probably weld that to it and bolt her up with just a U-bolt that I've had hanging around. So yeah, so this is what I did now. I ended up taking this all apart, and I put one of those clamp style things on it, so that way it keeps the steering shaft up, because other than that it was fighting it back and forth. So there it is, the steering wheel there. Made my mount down there. Might do some little bit of different to that, but it's there. The best part is it steers. So we're definitely doing better.